Hi there, Trish with Fat Lady Crochet. Nice to see you today. Well, today is Friday, and I'm not going to lie, I am glad that it's the end of the week, although my weekend is also looking pretty busy. But one thing that I wanted to share with you today is something that I have a discussion like this all the time with people that I work with. The women that are opening up their businesses, they have these wonderful questions, and a lot of them are a lot like me. They're creatives and people that may also have a little bit of ADHD. So what happens with people like us, and maybe you can relate, is we get so many ideas. We get bombarded with all these ideas. It's just overwhelming. It can be overwhelming, and everything feels urgent and feels like it needs to be done right away, right now. So there's a lot of us that suffer from this, and it is kind of a suffering thing. Not that I would want to not have the ideas. I'm so grateful that to be a creative person and to have the ideas. So that said, being the age that I am now, I would say that it's taken me like up till now to really identify that and really see what's going on. So what I've always been is creative. I've always had ideas, and I've always had an entrepreneurial spirit as well. So, and I love it. I love thinking about projects. I love getting creative. I love pushing boundaries, and I love crochet, and I love using crochet to do wild things, and which I will be sharing, but not quite yet. I have to do some wild things to show you. But anyways, what I was going to say is it can be really easy for those of us that are creatives to get overwhelmed with things. So I am going to share with you some of my processes and how I kind of deal with that. And one thing that I do in the morning, and I've been doing this for 3 years now, is I have a morning thing where I get up, and whatever time I get up, I usually am a pretty early riser, but I will get up and write. So I have these journals, and it's really interesting to see the progression over the years about what I write in the journals. So when I first began, it started out as like a therapy almost, because we had just moved into the current house that we're in right now. And we were selling our old house, and it wasn't selling, and it was like just so stressful. So, if you're a person that is going through selling a house or even financial hardship right now, like that can be overwhelming in itself. And my heart goes out to you. So that said, that's where I started the journaling. And then, it really helped. It really helped get my ideas clear and my feelings clear. And then, talked about the daily life, talked about hopes and dreams, what I hoped that we would get from moving to where we've moved. And by the way, it has been life-changing for my family, especially my kids, and it's been a really positive thing. But it was very difficult as well. The other thing that was going on at that time was that I really loved my house, and I loved my community where we were living. So that was a very difficult transition for me. But anyways, moving ahead, now what I do is what I found in my journal is that it's probably for the last couple years, it's been really business focused. So really talking about like goals, what do I like, how much money do I want to make, even, or ideas, right? Like pattern ideas or ideas for books, all kinds of things, like you name it. So everything that I think of regarding my business that comes in, sometimes it comes in as a flood, it goes into this journal. So then I can go back and reread the journal and prioritize and see if those things still appeal to me, because often I'll have like these wonderful ideas, start on the path in my mind. I'm like, 5 years in, and then just give it a couple days. If I give it a couple days, I'm like, oh, well, that actually doesn't sound as exciting to me now. So then those things kind of fall away. So that's kind of how I deal with it. But so if you're like me, if you're an entrepreneur, like an entrepreneurial spirited creative, with all kinds of ideas, I would really suggest doing that. I would really suggest sitting down with your pen and your paper and have it handy, because you know that those ideas come anytime from anywhere. And just write them down and then revisit them. And it feels really good to write them down, because the other thing too is that you'll get these ideas and they'll feel really urgent, because if you don't do them now, you might forget about them. So, and it's so true. Like sometimes I'll look in my journal and I'll see what I've written and I forgot that I wrote that, and it's such a good idea, and then it'll re-spark things. So, but that said, I'm going to be sharing this process with you because lately I've been having like just one of the weirdest, most intense creative dumps on me for the past couple weeks in terms of business. So that I've been having to deal with pattern theft and all of that stuff that I don't want to dwell on it, and I don't want to talk too much about it because it's just a reality that I have to deal with. But how can I deal with it, and how can I protect my work, and how can I protect my mental health and all of those things? So that's kind of what I'm figuring out. So if you are like me, well, welcome, and you're in good company. Another thing that I wanted to just chat about today is something else that's really come up. And it is, it kind of ties in with what we were just talking about, actually. And it's about just getting started. So I am a big believer that you just have to get started. Nothing's going to be perfect. You can't rely on perfection. There is no perfection. You just have to get started. You have to pull the plug. So a lot of the women that I work with who are starting businesses have, there's this very real worry about putting themselves out there. And because when you're first starting your business, or starting to sell your handmade pieces, or you're doing your first market, it can feel really intimidating. It can feel like you're putting, because you've put so much love and so much of yourself into whatever it is that you've created, including like a business. So it can be scary to think about pulling the plug and actually doing it, putting it out there. So my advice, and this is advice coming from a lot of years of experience and being older, is to just do it. Just get started. You are going to make mistakes. It's not going to be perfect. It might look really gross to start, but you're going to learn so much just by doing. And that's how we always learn, right? Like everybody says, you got to make mistakes and you have to fumble and do all of those things. So don't overthink it, and don't demand perfection from yourself. Just go ahead, do it. The world is not going to fall apart. You're not going to fall apart. It's going to be okay. You got this. It might take some time, but you got this. And finally, the last thing that I wanted to share with you today is kind of fun. This is a new pattern that I'm developing, and it comes from a request from my bestie. So every year he asks me to make something for him, for his mantle, for his Christmas mantle. Now, I just want to say one thing. My bestie has supported me, we've known each other since I think when he was turning 18 is when we met. So, and I would have been 19 or 20 at the time. So I've known him forever. He means the world to me. And so he has supported me. He bought my first book. He was the first person to buy my first little comic collection book. So he means the world to me. And so if he asks for something, he gets it, even though I am very busy and it's kind of inconvenient sometimes, but still, it doesn't matter. He gets it. So one thing that he asked for this year, he said he had this list of projects that he wanted for his mantle. And I just was like, how am I ever going to do this? Of course I will do it, but how am I ever going to do it? Anyways, he pared the list down, thank goodness, and asked for some Pac-Man ghosts, but he wanted them Christmassy. So I'm developing a pattern. This is the pattern that I'm developing. And so there will be Inky, Pinky, Blinky, and Ike, I think. So the 4 of them with a little Christmas mod. So that's what's coming. My members, my YouTube members are going to get a full video tutorial to create these. And there will be a PDF available in my shop, only in my shop, the website, www.fatladycrochet.ca. And it will not be available on its own in Etsy or in Ravelry, but it will be released sometime in 2026 as part of a bundle in Etsy and Ravelry. So anyways, if you want to make one with me, go ahead and become a member in YouTube here, and you can make a few other things as well. I'm aiming to get 2 premium patterns in there a month for my members, and I love to hear from you. So if you have any questions or any comments, if you're like me with a little bit of ADHD and a lot of creativity, I'd love to hear from you, and I'd love to hear some of the ways that you sort of deal with that, or work around it, or whatever that looks like. I'd love to know kind of what your tips and tricks are with that. We can all learn from each other, and we can all share with each other what we're doing on things like that. Because sometimes those things can feel really isolating and can be paralyzing as well. It can prevent us from moving forward with what we want to do, with our hopes and dreams. And you're not alone is what the bottom line is. So there's plenty of us out here that are like that. So anyways, have a wonderful rest of your day. Take it easy. Be kind to yourself. Hug your kids, hug your dog, hug yourself, and we'll catch you later. See ya.